Play through half of it. All right. Well, hello everybody. This is Carnell C. Newbill. That's the government name, aka Spike Rebel from Chicago South Side. I went to Corliss High School, followed that by Northern Illinois University, where I majored in music, jazz, art, dropped art to stick with music, and I became a Chicago police officer, CHAPD, and then I didn't really like that, but it gave me a lot of social skills. And then I went from there to uh, just really trying to find myself, so I decided to go to New York. That's where they said the Big Apple was, and that's where I went to see really what this thing is. If you can't make it in the Big Apple, you can't. But anyway, that fast pace, things had to play instruments I never heard of, and I'm. There's a thing called a gift where you can create from not seeing things, just in the moment, and then there's others. So I'm kind of a balance between both of those. So from the Jane to Jane thing, they're doing something to keep the to help people with the pandemic in Roseland, Chicago, Roseland area. I'm sure there's other areas that may need help with the mask. It's very interesting. Some places, Indiana, they're not wearing them. I guess they dropped the ban. But in Chicago, oh man, you can't go to Walgreens nowhere. Hey, you can't, hey, wear the mask. So I have a black one, a white one, a blue one, and I got the $30 one that the construction people wear. But at the end of the day, I'm still here. I've lost two friends from the COVID-19. They had health issues before, but I think that's what took them out. I have another buddy that's sitting in the hospital now. He got it twice. A nurse came to see him after he went through the 14-day thing, quarantine, and gave it to him again. So they say you're not supposed to be able to catch it again, but he got it again. So he's been in there more than 30 days and may have some more. And I know a few older people that have had it, and they ate well, and I don't know how they exercise, but they're not eating all the junk food and stuff, and they made it through, but they knew something was wrong. So I am honored to have Columbia College and TAPS, Shania Davis of TAPS Management. I think she's from Chicago, stationed in Georgia right now, if I'm correct, and she wanted me to demonstrate or be the face, a positive face of this other brand of music that is not really being played or recognized. I've been in Chicago a while. There's easily 100 artists that I know that I've collaborated with, and ain't none of it on the radio. And at the end of the day, we are like messengers. All of us are beautiful. It's not one better than the other. It's just like a bouquet of musicians, poets, singers. I'm around them. I haven't doing what you love. So I work a 9 to 5 too. I still do Uber, and that's a beautiful thing because I meet people from other countries that you never meet sitting in the studio producing all. With me today, an array of a few of my instruments. I have hundreds of cultural instruments. The collection is growing, and I may have my guy that runs the studio, Amir, join me on his upright bass. I have several guitars. I'm starting to paint on them because the bodies of the guitars are like canvases. And I just want the guitars to have something, you keep looking at, you keep seeing something different. So with no further ado, start with something. This is, start with the guitar. 20 minutes will go by fast. This song right here, it's called I could write a book. I could write a book on you. I could write a book on you. I could write a book on you. There you go. I could write a book on you. See, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Na, 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 na. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, go first. Girl, I can write a book. How you make me feel. You're oh so much. 'Cause your love is still stimulating my mind, making me feel so fine. Giving love devotion. That's why these emotions, girl. I can write a book. How you make me feel. Making me feel so fine. Giving love devotion. That's why these emotions got me choosing. All your loving I require. 'Cause my heart could write a book on you, baby. Could write a book on you. Could write a book, baby. Oh, my everything. One more time, I can write a book. Da, 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 da. I can write a book on you, baby, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We'll take it out right here. Da, 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 da. You're my every Thank you, sir. Yes, that's sir. The mighty Jammin. There we go. You know what? Can I car that I've painted? There's mirrors. There's a city. If you can see, there's a female. I like sensual things too. There's fingers of music notes. There's numbers. There's soul, love, truth, jazz, funk, all that stuff. There's faces in there, all that. So that's what I like. Ha! I like Afrocentric masks. I've always liked Japanese culture, art, and African art. So, so I call that brand of music acoustic soul. It's something about that upright bass when you put it with the acoustic Earl Clue type of playing with a drummer that can switch between the jazz and the funk beats. That's the stuff, and feature a poet, a singer. You know how Sade, that kind of thing. That's the element I like. Um, can I do that? That track by a lot of Chicago house producers, DJs. Uh, I can't even say who's the best. It's just that some have marketing and some have agents that allow them to go overseas and uh, do things on a higher level with bigger crowds, bigger distribution, and then you have the local guys. But I've been blessed to be like Michael Jordan, scrimmage with all of them in the hood, and just experience playing with all of these different guys: Carl Bias, Vic Lavender, Rahan Ra, Dave Mays, and the list goes on. It's a whole bunch of them. Rick Lenore, working on a project with him, 4 songs to be distributed globally. These guys are starting to let me stretch out over those dance beats. So this one is DJ C's. He be mixing all these guys' stuff. He's a great engineer, but he's also a producer too. Producer DJs, they know what the crowd likes to get them in a trance. So for the house heads for Chicago, New York, I'm going to play on top of a finished record, DJ C's. Light on. There we, yeah, it's not on the right thing. Oh, say it again. W, no, say it's on W-A-R-D. Oh boy, you're gonna have to come in and do it. And while he's doing that, technical difficulties. That's not my computer. Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. Click. All right, this is DJ C's Jingo. Jingo. Jingo, jingle, bop, bop, bop. This is a remake for us. There we go. store, which we can't go on. And we need to learn from this. Uh, yeah, so there you go. That's one of my little Spike Rebel. I love doing city landscapes. Now I can pretty much paint anything. I've been drawing since I was little. So animals, birds, horses, dogs. But I usually like drawing landscapes, wine bottles. You know, I like to take this, flip it upside down, and make something totally different from it. So with that, I think the last thing left for me to do, I should have been performing with one of these masks on. That would have been pretty dope too. But since I don't have nothing, I got to play a few more instruments. I want to show you some cultural instruments and use my mask. See, I got two. Got a clean one. And this will be the one. Can't play my guitar and put the paint on it. All right, this is what I want to show. Do I need to change the cameras or just pick some of these instruments up? You want to jam me on this one or no? Or just, yeah. I always be. Let me see how I can do this. This is going to be a little educational part for those from Columbia College or the world. Let me set my mic up real quick. This ain't going to take too long. Alright, here we go. Is this cool? Alright. Testing, testing, testing. Yep. In short, this is my global short class. This is a Guitar Center shaker. But they have these in all the cultures. And whether they put salt, macaroni, rice, or I have tons of shakers at home. This is called a hand drum. Okay, this is the little baby one because they come in the bigger one like the mother, and then there's a bigger one. I consider that the father, and then you got another one. The pressure on the back. That does. Now, someone showed me in New York on Sundays they play in the park over in Grant Park, a little spiritual thing with all these different, oh man, it's like Asians, black, whites, they all be pouring the libations, they dancing in the middle, and for 10, 20 minutes one guy is leading everybody how to play. That's what made me feel good. Seeing that thing on Sunday with that unification. And some of those old guys with those long dress, they came over, they said, hey brother, you play well, but you don't know what the hell you playing. Because a lot of rhythms, some rhythms are played for specific purposes. Whereas today we just, oh yeah, that's hot, and you start grinding or shaking your body. But some things are made for healing. Some beats are made for the say, hey, be careful. Some things will say, get the hell out of here. So this is one of the sticks that an elder gave me to learn how to play within the beat. So this is playing on the beat. Playing within the beat, somebody else will be going boom, boom, chak, boom, boom, chak. So this is some examples. That's what the stick allows you to do, to put that vibe. This is the one that stands out. When you have 50 people playing, this particular djembe cuts through, and it's usually on the top. So this would be like a soprano. Most of our stuff, if you already know, including medicine, comes from natural things. So this would be an avocado that was baked. Somehow they cut and gutted out everything in there. Scraper. Usually in a lot of Latin things, they have so that goes real well when you're playing that Latin rhythm that sounds like this. All right, moving on to a couple other things. This is another favorite instrument of mine. I always wondered how come they don't have. Why do all pianos black and white? That just always. Yeah. So I found one that's not. All right. So this is the one I saw the Shy Lights guy play it. I seen the guy with Sade play it. It's called a melodica, made by Horner. This one is not the pierce. They have a very piercing sound, but I know I can't play that harmonica like Stevie Wonder. I've been messing around, but I can't do it. So this is the closest thing I can get to it. And so that's the melodica. Beautiful instrument. Put a little reverb or delay and play, yeah, with a jazz group. That's good. Let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, and lastly, Dr. Calfani, a good friend of mine who just recently passed, not from the virus, but this guy from a grant and from his years of teaching music has so many instruments. So between him and Andy's Music, which is up on like Belmont and Elston in that area, Andy Cohn, C-O-H-N, he is the I think he has the second or third largest warehouse of global instruments. I'm talking about gongs that's almost big as your house, and he has them in classes of families, like all the flutes and all the drums and all of the guitars and all of the percussion and all of the gongs. They all look, when you walk in a place, it just looks like it's stuff everywhere. But it's, if these instruments were the races of people, you'd say they all different, but there's a sense of unity in that warehouse, the way he got them. They're separate, but they're all fused in with each other, and that's something that we need to see and live. I've started my collection of flutes, woodwind instruments. They're not my favorite. My favorite instruments are string instruments, but I'm starting to collect them. Let me see. Yeah. So most of these things, if you don't know, if you ever go with your tongue, even with the trumpet, when you go, yeah, that's the flute. That's a flute. And my last instrument to close on you all, right here, my collection of instruments is growing monthly. There's a guy that makes guitars out of baseball bats, boat paddles, pizza shifters, bread pans. This dude put the electronics in them, and they look weird, but they're dope. And you can plug them and play them. And he trades me off studio time. That's P. Dallas or Patrick Dallas up in Mokina. Shout outs to giving me instruments that are very eccentric and unique. And that's something I would like to put on some records. And this right here is from Russia. It's called a Vost. Let's say raw Vost. But it's runs $800 to $3,000. They come in different scales. Try to see if I can play a rhythm real quick. It's tuned to a pentatonic scale. And that's that piece. I thank you all for watching me. I am posting a lot of my underground stuff in my basements, and the Spike Rebel crib or the lab is wherever I produce or create. In my home, my mother's basement, wherever I'm at, that's Spike's crib. And I put that on Facebook pretty much every 2 or 3 days. I'm painting or doing something live with different artists that I think the world should see. A lot of them are dying, and we're not getting to see their stories. It's not being captured. It's a lot of great history that we've already missed that's not in the schools. But to make a long story short, music is heaven. If I could leave y'all with some positive words, it would be basically that COV it's real, and we need to. I would like to thank Columbia College and TAPS again for at least having me. Understand there is a brand of artists that are positive with positive messages, and that brand of sound has yet to be commercially out there. And I know because I'm working with them. They're not all young. They're not all Jay-Z's and Beyonce's and the commercial whatever. There are some older people that have been writing poems all their life, positive stuff that can educate and heal. And if nobody, Shania Davis, she's allowing me to expose some of them through radio, through media, through this situation, etc. So if you all have me again, God willing, I'll be bringing some of those artists. For those who have lost ones with the COVID-19 virus, uh, uh, they've transitioned to a better place, and let's just keep their memories positive. Thank you again, Columbia College and Shania Davis Taps. I am Spike Rebel. Art, music, live. Live. Yeah. Mm. All right.